What's good, y'all? Today's gonna be a comical episode. So, although I'm still continuing those segments of my influences and my inspirations, giving those flowers, this one's gonna be about my dietary regimen, which I just broke code, y'all. Just broke code. So, shout outs to my sister Jennifer for bothering me yesterday because I told her I was in the mood for some fried chicken and I went out and got it. So, with that being said, let's get into it. So, for those of you who know me and those of you who don't know me, those who do know me know that I was plant-based for almost 3 years, up to this past summer. Those that don't know me now know that. With that being said, yeah, I ate only plant-based, which some consider to be vegan, but I'm not vegan because I like nice clothes. I'm not really trying to save the animals, nor am I trying to kill the animals. It's just I like certain things, and I can't necessarily say I'm vegan because that's a lifestyle. With that being said, let's get into this shit. So yesterday, there's two things that happened. One, I haven't reported in a long time because I haven't reported in like 4 days. 2 days prior to the 4 days that just passed, I actually had a splitting migraine. When I say splitting, it was like my brain was getting ready to jump straight out of my skull. And that was due to me eating some potato chips that were fried in peanut oil. Now, for me eating the way that I was eating, mostly alkaline, because for the 3 years that I was eating plant-based, it was all alkaline based. It was like 98% alkaline. So I developed a lot of, how can I say, resistance to things that I now be trying to put in my body that my body is not messing with. So peanut oil being one of those, because I was not eating peanuts and I was not eating almonds. I wasn't eating them, so I developed a semi-nut allergy because I can still eat walnuts and pecans, but I can't eat peanuts like that anyways. I think I still could do cashews because I put cashew butter inside my smoothies and shit, but yeah, peanuts. Anyways, I got an allergic reaction to peanuts. That shit had my brain radiating with pain, so I was down, out for the count. Fast forward to, well, let's not fast forward to that. Let me start with my infancy real quick and how my mom used to give me organic baby food. Before that, I came out the womb allergic to milk, so I always rejected cow milk of any animal. It just didn't work. All animal milk of any sort, my body was not messing with. My mom doesn't necessarily have, I don't think she does. She's never told me anyways. I don't think she has an allergic reaction to milk. But anyways, I came out allergic to milk. Therefore, I was put on to soy milk, which fast forward into the future, we learned that soy milk isn't that good for you. If you're going to use any milk other than breast milk, obviously, and my mom didn't breastfeed me for whatever reason. I think she told me it was a little weird for her having her child stuck on her breast or whatever. My mom's a little wild with it. But needless to say, she didn't give me breast milk. They put me on soy milk. I was raised on soy milk, or not raised, but soy milk got me up to a certain point, and then there was no milk in my diet at all. Now, if you're gonna use milk, obviously go with the breast milk first. My children, except for one of them, were raised with breast milk and then converted over to hemp seed milk. I don't know anybody that sells hemp seed milk. Not saying that it's not out there. I've just never came across it in a store. I'm sure there's a couple independent and local people that are vegan or practice plant-based dieting that sell hemp seed milk. Me and my lady make it at home. So a lot of our children were converted over to hemp seed milk once they were done with the breast milk. Now, to go back to my infancy, boom, soy milk. Then after a while, as a toddler, my mom giving me the little organic baby food. My mom never gave me processed foods like that. She never gave me candy. Only time me and my sister had candy, other than my sister having her little sweet tooth and slipping out here and there and having candy, was for holidays. in my household, my mom celebrated certain holidays, so she would let us eat cookies and you know, just whatever holiday that was around, the holiday candy that was around, we got a little bit of it. But for the most part, we didn't really mess with sugar. Therefore, I developed a intolerance to sugar. So like when I would eat sugar, I didn't really mess with it like that. I didn't like the way it tastes. I was more, if I was gonna eat sugar based candy or things that had a high sugar content, they were typically always sour. Like I loved sour candy and shit like that, like Warheads and Sour Patch Kids and what's the other one, not tongue splashers, but a little bit of Gobstoppers, Sweet Tarts. I like sour shit. But that was all that was. Now fast forward to me being 17, I was never a breakfast food eater either. Like I didn't fuck with breakfast food. I hated waffles, didn't like pancakes, didn't start liking eggs until I got into my latter teens. Yeah, so I barely had breakfast growing up, which probably helped with some anti-aging properties. You know what I mean? Because the more food you eat, the more you have to process, which starts to work against your body. So I was intermittent fasting before intermittent fasting was a thing. Got me? So fast forward to me being 17, because remember, this is about influences, inspiration. So I'm gonna shout out some of my inspirations and influences that came behind my dieting. So shout out to my mom for the organic baby food and the soy milk with the good intentions. And then now we go to my boy Mo, who got some information from his boy John Wall, also known as John Wall. He's a rapper who I think got some enlightening information from Glacier Gleam at the time. He was running around with 5%ers. Glacier was either a 5%er at that time, because this is going back into the early 90s. He was either a 5%er at that time or practicing or potential 5%er. Not really sure. Either way, he hit my man John Air with the knowledge, who hit my man Mo with the knowledge, and then my man Mo brought me the Supreme Math and the Supreme Alphabet. In order for me to get the Supreme Math and the Supreme Alphabet, not saying this is protocol because I'm not really sure, but in order for me to receive my Supreme Math and Supreme Alphabet, which is the first point of the 8-point path of the nation and gods and earths, I had to fast from pork and not eat pork ever again. So that was the drop. And for me to get that information and become enlightened with that information, I had to get rid of that pork. So I hadn't eaten pork since 17, and I'm almost 40. So pork was the first to go. I didn't eat candy like that, but once pork was out of the system, having candy was out of the question, because it carried red 40, yellow 5, glycerin, gelatin, all those different things, all those different recipes and additives that have a pork derivative or animal byproduct derivative in them. You got me? So I'm trying to do this really, really quick for y'all. So yeah, so from there, dropped the pork. Then I was all, with the rest of the meat, red meat, chicken, fish. Then I ended up getting sick from red meat, which caused me to drop red meat. After that, I was only chicken and fish. Then I got sick with the chicken, eating in Spanish restaurants, because they were probably cooking the chicken with pork and putting pork in the rice and doing different things to give their food flavor. No shots to them. I ended up getting sick from it because I hadn't had pork for so long. So them mixing oils and cross-contaminating different meats and all this other stuff got me sick with chicken. Got chicken out of here. Then I became a pescatarian for 5 to 6 years, if I'm not mistaken. I know it was a good grip. And I was busting fish down, anything that was seafood. Then I got rid of shellfish and only dealt with the fish, like, directly, just straight fish. And after that, where'd I go from there? Oh, so after being a pescatarian, by the way, shout outs to Mo, shout outs to Glacier, shout outs to John Air, and shout outs to my mom. Now we get into me being a pescatarian. I'm sleeping. It's about 3:30, 3:45 in the morning, and my lady, or mother of my children, wakes me up, right? And she's like, "Babe, you gotta look at this." Now, it was a video on YouTube about alkaline dieting from Dr. Sebi, the late great Dr. Sebi. May he rest in power, because he was a great influence and inspiration on my household as a whole. learning the information about alkaline dieting and pH scale, and how alkaline is on one side and acid is on another side, and how we grow up typically with a more acidic based diet, and how that's how disease, it's basically a center for disease. Like basically when your body is non-alkalized, because it's hard for disease and things of that nature to exist in a highly alkalized body. So with that being said, a lot of people in our community, in our culture, grow up eating a lot of acidic foods. So this is why we develop a lot of ailments over time. This eating alkaline, bear with me, eating alkaline helps with anti-inflammatory, so it helps to get rid of inflammation. It helps to ease disease. It helps to fight against cancer. It helps to fight against what's that? I can't even think. High blood pressure. Helps to fight against diabetes and countless other things that I won't go into. You just do your research, do your homework. Dr. Sebi, you can find him all over YouTube. He transitioned not too long ago. I'm sure you can put together how and why that happened. Nick Cannon's putting together a documentary on Dr. Sebi, and Nipsey Hussle was a great supporter of Dr. Sebi, which is, you could put that together and probably why he's not here with us anymore. So there was a lot of people that were in support of this man. So yeah, shout outs to the mother of my children for that, because without her, I wouldn't have got put onto that. She actually embodied it, embraced it right away. She got right to it, went out and bought all the ingredients that he said that were alkaline. She started making things from scratch. It was hard for me to digest at first because I was so used to eating with white salt and, you know, just all the things that you'll find out that aren't alkaline. So once she put me onto that science, she practiced it for like 30 to 60 days. And then I was implementing it slowly. I didn't jump on it right away. She stopped, went back to a fish and chicken diet. And then my boy Mike P comes to me with a drink, a detox drink from the Jamaicans. He was selling it. And I told him, I said, yo, I can't drink that. I'll buy it off of you, but I can't drink that until I stop eating meat. That's how I wanted to do it. So I ended up getting sick again from something I had ate, which I can't remember, but I remember getting sick again. And I ended up fasting for 3 days. You know, the Holy Trinity. I ended up fasting for mind, body, and soul for 3 days, right? With no water and no food. 3 whole days, sun up to sundown, right? After that, I ended up looking in the refrigerator and I noticed that the drink, because I had bought one from the mother of my children and myself, and I had noticed that it looked half drunk, or like she had drank half of it. So I was like, oh man, she got to it before me. So I went in there, grabbed my drink, guzzled it down. Now there was no turning back. After that, I got into intermittent fasting and joined the alkaline club, so to speak. I intermittent fast with the alkaline dieting, and I did that intermittent fasting for like 90 days. Which it wasn't that hard. If those of you who know what intermittent fasting is, it's basically if there's 24 hours in a day. So what you would do is you'd find a certain window of time where you don't eat and a certain window of time where you do eat. And usually the window of time that you don't eat is greater than the window of time that you do eat. So I was doing 22 hours of not eating, 2 hours of eating. And I obviously not eating the whole 2 hours, but you have a 2-hour window to eat whatever it is that you like. Me being an alkaline dieter at the time, that's what I ended up indulging on. Now, I was on that dietary regimen as far as eating alkaline and plant-based for almost 3 years, to up to this past summer where I decided to do a little cheating, so to speak. Ran out, started eating all the things I like, minus the pork. Pork has never been my thing. Red meat isn't even my thing. Although I had a hamburger or two throughout the summer at cookouts or whatever the case may be, red meat has just never been my thing. I usually get sick from red meat, and it takes a very, 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 very long time to digest. So that's not really my thing. However, when I did eat meat heavily, I would always get a burger when I would go out to restaurants because I felt like it was the safest thing, because I felt like you can't go wrong. These people can't cook a burger unless it comes red and bleeding and shit. But typically a person can't mess up a burger. So I would always get a burger and fries, and that was my way of eating my red meat. I was never a steak person, I never even ate brisket before. I don't even know what that tastes like. Now, fast forward to the summer getting out of here, and I get back on my vegan shit or back on my plant-based shit, right? Up until a day ago, like literally a day ago, I'm at my father's house, have a little glass of wine with my sisters and my brother-in-law, and my sister's mom, shout outs to her, she's trying to give me some food and shit, and I can't eat it because there's chicken in it. So they're like, oh, why are you back to that again? This, that, and the third. And I'm like, yeah. And especially at this time, this is the perfect time to not be eating meat. Man, the next day, I didn't eat the meat that day. The next day, I wake up in the morning and I'm craving fried chicken. And when I tell you, it was a craving that I could not shake. I'm driving by, I'm seeing fried chickens, pictures in windows and stuff, and my mouth's watering. So I went and got some fried chicken. Fucked everything up. So that's the funny part. You know what I mean? I actually went and got fried chicken. In fact, I feel like some fried chicken right now. But, you know, I've eaten exact for, I should say, I ate right for almost 3 years, and I ate exact for 6 months. Now, the difference between eating right and eating exact, eating right is fruits, vegetables, grains. That's eating right. That's like, covers a broad spectrum of what eating right is, right? Eating right is just knowing that these things are not bad for you or not too bad for you. Eating exact is watching what you eat and paying attention to what you eat does to your body. You know, does it give you more energy? Does it give you more stamina? Does it give you, are you not tired? You know what I mean? Are you operating at your optimum? That's eating exact. And that takes time to be able to do that. Like, I'm not even going to sit here and act as though I had it all the way mastered. But I was learning it and I was getting it down pat. There's even certain things you can eat that when you work out, your body looks its best when you're working out. And then there's other things that work against you. You know what I mean? Not everything works for everybody. So when people say eat right, you can't just say eat right. You have to say eat exact. So shout out to my influences and inspirations out there. And the thing about eating meat, I'm definitely not the person and never been the person, because I've always been honest when people are like, oh, you missed this and you missed that. Hell yeah, I missed this and missed that. There's a lot of liars out there that eat right, so to speak, that will pretend like they don't miss certain shit. Or you'll get around and be like, oh, you eat that? Like, you know what I mean? That's not me. I miss a lot of shit, you know what I mean? But I also am very health conscious, and I have children, you know, and I gotta be here for them. So that's where eating right and exact comes from. Making sure that I can hold the torch and pass the torch down to my children, and they know how to eat right and exact. That's what it's all about. Self-preservation, and you preserve self through your children, through your lineage, and through your legacy. You know what I mean? So that's what all that was about. So shout outs to all the people that inspired me and influenced me to get me to where I'm at and to giving me the knowledge. Shout out to Justin at our journey. We've built massive amounts of times. That's my guy. But yeah, you have to understand that sometimes your body craves certain things that it's missing. Not saying that it's craving meat, but it might be craving certain vitamins and nutrients that's in the meat that you're lacking from eating the vegetables. So that's why I'm saying eating right and exact. Obviously, I was missing something in my diet to be craving the chicken. It wasn't just me wanting to be a savage caveman and act uncivilized and run out and try to grab a bunch of meat. No, I was lacking something that I thought I had it all mastered. So until I figure that out, I'm probably going to have these cravings up until I can figure it out. You know what I mean? So with that being said, love, light, and peace. Remember, my light is brilliant, and no fear is the bridge to absolute freedom. Love you guys. Peace.